Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bone Girl. Well, we watched Pain and Gain last night and I don't even know where to start. First, I guess let's say this is a true story. Then let's say I have never been so misled by a trailer in my life. I went in thinking this was going to be a comedy about kidnappers, so I guess that was stupid because it sounds crazy and I cannot think of a film like that, but the trailer really pushed the comedy angle. So I was expecting National Lampoon, kidnapping a mean rich guy. Like, I don't know, the movie Screwed or Get Shorty or something. So when this movie started really getting crazy, I was not prepared. For the mechanics, it was very well acted with a nice balance of big names and new faces. I was happy to see Dwayne Johnson doing some real acting again, and to see Tony Shalhoub playing a jerk and a victim and doing it amazingly. Ed Harris, Rob Corddry, and Rebel Wilson are endlessly stealing scenes and own their characters completely. The cinematography was well done, and the bright sun, gritty cities, and beautiful beaches were used to really help pull you into the story. The writers did a good job of mixing together facts, news reports, and extrapolated fiction. As for the plot, I don't know what to say. It really happened, and that is just terrifying. I walked out and literally said, I will never be able to have a personal trainer or trust a bodybuilder, ever. Also, what the hell is wrong with Florida? This, Dexter, assault via spaghetti, alligators, the Ku Klux Klan, the Bad Boys films, Eileen Wuornos, the only female serial killer, Ted Bundy. I could go on, Florida. This movie really made me have some trust issues flare up, and Florida is at the top of my list now. I thought I was going to see a comedy with lots of silly hijinks. Instead, I was reminded of why you lock your doors and never share personal information, and that humans are naturally evil. Apparently, some of the real victims' families were angered by this film, saying that it makes these horrible criminals into sympathetic bumblers. I realize that for them this is a very sensitive issue and they're filled with volatile emotions, and the idea of people all over laughing while watching versions of their loved ones die is just too much to accept. But I would also say this. Before the film, I had never heard of these crimes. I had no idea this had ever happened. All through the movie, I was in disbelief and horror at what these men did. While the bad guys are the main characters of the story, I did not consider them sympathetic. At first, yes, but everyone seems sympathetic at first. Like before Norman Bates kills anyone, you basically think he's this nice guy who's lonely and trying to put up with his mom and hold things together, right? And at the beginning of Dracula, you kind of feel bad for this old count all locked away in his castle. Shit, even the Emperor seems like a cool guy at first when he's just chilling with Vader and the stormtroopers. But then they start doing things and you realize they made the wrong choice. They fell to the dark side, so to speak. And that is what happens in this film. During the first few failed attempts to capture Kershaw, I thought maybe these guys would be anti-heroes. When The Rock started bonding with him, I thought it would be a story of redemption like with Darth Vader. But it's not. Although it's pretty hilarious to see someone like The Rock as a good Christian boy wearing goofy shirts, who justifies his crimes by convincing himself that it's Jesus' will, these seemingly normal guys degrade all the way into monsters. And when you see Mark Wahlberg get hit by that cop car, you really just want to see his head explode. So yes, I laughed a lot at this movie, and I enjoyed the film. But that didn't make me like the men that did these things. Basically, Star Wars references aside, this film slowly and subtly tells the story of men that are monsters, and the average innocent people they turned into victims. Maybe the victims were not the most amazing people in the world, but they were people like me, mean, crazy, hardworking people that were minding their own business and were horribly and brutally attacked and killed. I think this film is a large, action-packed, macabre memorial to them. If they were still with us, I'd like to think they would enjoy this movie and be filled with hate for the men that actually did this, just like me. And I really hope that the survivors can find peace in knowing that literally everyone that sees this film will see these guys as dumb psychopaths. Overall, I say you should just see this movie for the mind trip. We give it a B-, if you know what you're going into. A C otherwise. It's hard after one viewing to separate my interest in the story and how well the story was told, but the actors did a good job and the movie restores some of my faith in Michael Bay. Really, this movie is nuts. So watch it and tell us what you think. We need someone to talk this one out with. And P.S., we saw the bad editing when The Rock's lime slice fell off of his drink and then it was there again. We saw it.